Soul food is one of those cuisines that people don't just cook, they inherit it. So if a cookbook is going to teach it, it better get it right. So today I made collard greens, cheese grits, and the oven-baked barbecue ribs. To find out if a cookbook can actually teach you how to make soul food or if that's just something a book cannot do. And honestly, one of these recipes has no business being this good. And with that, let's get to it. Soul food collard greens. With our collard greens, we're gonna start off by trimming off the ends and then we're going to give it a nice wash. Now it's very important that we wash them. You have children running around the grocery stores wiping their grubby, snotty, poopy little hands all over the produce. So if you eat this without washing it, you're gonna develop some sort of pneumonia or mitochondria or some shit. To clean these properly, you are going to, in a clean, bleached, sterilized sink, rinse off the biological warfare just like this. Once your sink is filled with water, toss in some apple cider vinegar and salt. And then you're going to let them soak for at least 30 minutes. You will repeat the soaking process for as many times as needed. Once you are satisfied with the cleanliness, you are going to chop up the collard greens like so. Now this here is 4 pounds, so enough to survive an economic collapse. I hope. Now put those to the side. Rosie is specifically calling for bacon ends here, which is entirely different from just regular bacon. I couldn't find this anywhere in my city, so I had to travel to the middle of buttfuck Saskatchewan just to get some off of some farm. Now I know what you're thinking. There's a city here called Prince Albert? What kind of a sick, twisted place is Saskatchewan? Regardless, don't look that up on Urban Dictionary. You can thank me later. Once you've obtained them, you are going to cut them. Doesn't say what size to chop them to, so I'm just gonna do random. Once the bacon ends are nice and chopped just like this, we're going to dice an onion as well. And then in a pot over medium heat, you are going to brown the bacon ends. If you brown them right, you should have enough grease to and lubricate a small engine. I mean, look at that. Anyway, once it's done, you're gonna take some to the side, and this is just gonna be your topping for later. I'm gonna steal a little piece. Wow, that tastes way better than regular bacon by a mile. So yeah, basically don't eat all that before we're done cooking. Regardless, toss in your diced onions and then cook them till they start to sweat. Should look like this. Now toss in some garlic and cook for 1 more minute. Then from here, you're gonna pour in some chicken broth and then you're gonna boil this for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, add some water, add your collard greens, sprinkle in the seasoning salt and ground black pepper, add the sliced jalapeno and vinegar, cover the pot and then simmer it for 1 hour and 10 minutes over medium heat. Once it's done cooking, we're gonna plate it and then we didn't actually remove that bacon grease. We weren't supposed to. I guess we're gonna clog our arteries is what we're gonna do. So, apparently this is a staple in a lot of people's houses. Hopefully this will make me start eating more greens in my life. Wow. Okay there, buddy. Well, that's a pretty good dish if I do say so myself. This dish is pretty mint if I do say so myself, and I'd say it's on like the mid to upper tier of mint. This is just amazing, and I'm gonna go eat the rest of this now. Creamy, cheesy grits. For this, you're gonna grab a saucepan. You're gonna pour in some water and heavy cream and you're gonna bring that to a boil. From here, you're gonna sprinkle in the grits and then you are going to whisk. And then you're gonna cook it for 30 to 35 minutes. The thing about this recipe that's kind of bugging me right now is it doesn't say what state this should be in while it cooks for 30 minutes. Should it be slightly boiling? Should it be at a standstill like this? Like, I'm gonna take a best guess. I'm gonna put it right here to where it's kind of boiling, kind of still cooking. I'm just doing my best here, man. Regardless, once it's done, it should look like this. Now you're gonna toss in lots of butter and salt. Stir it in like so. The butter should melt nicely. Now add in some black pepper, sharp cheddar, and Havarti cheese. Mix that together and you should end up with something amazing looking like this. And now you're gonna plate it up. I'm probably breaking convention by putting it into a fancy plate like this, but you know, whatever. I can't remember if this is porridge. I don't know what porridge is. This is grits. You know what? Let's just get to it. No commentary. It kind of reminds me of risotto. It's insanely creamy. It's very buttery. It's very delicious. And the oils of the Havarti cheese are really... Excuse me, that was really good. The oils of the Havarti cheese are really coming through, and that's making this a winner. Like, it feels wrong that I like this as much as I do, but I can't stop going back for more. This is really good. I probably will go back for this again one day, if I'm being honest with you. These are f***ing tasty. So you know what? I'm going to give this the rank of decent. This alone is better than Le Creuset's entire cookbook. Oven-baked barbecue ribs. For this, you're gonna need St. Louis style ribs. You're gonna start off by removing this silver slimy membrane, and then you're gonna pat the ribs dry. Now you're gonna cover both sides of the ribs with some sort of a vegetable oil, and then in a bowl, you are going to combine brown sugar, freshly ground black pepper, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, kosher salt, dried parsley flakes, dry mustard, and red pepper flakes. You're gonna mix this rub, and then you are going to generously season your ribs with this rub. Now, why this is called a rub, I have no clue. Maybe it's because we rub it onto meat? No, that doesn't sound right. Whatever. Now you're gonna wrap your ribs in foil and you are going to bake it at 464 degrees Kelvin for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Once your ribs are done baking, you're gonna take them out, unfoil them, and then you are going to brush them with your favorite barbecue sauce. You're gonna broil that for about 5 minutes and then you're gonna pull it out, cut them up, and then they should look like this. I mean, look at how juicy that is. We're gonna plate those up and then we are ready to eat. These ribs are decent. Positives, it's rib. The pork rib, just in general, is a god tier piece of meat. Whenever you make it, you are always going to end up with a delicious result. That's what we have here. Another big positive, the use of seasoning in this recipe is delicious. If you use this blend of seasoning for your ribs, you will have an amazing result. Now the negatives. This recipe calls for cooking the ribs a little too fast. As a result of these ribs being cooked at 375 over the course of just an hour and 20 minutes, they're a little bit harder than you would want for ribs, basically. Whenever you have a meat like rib that is full of collagen, you need to cook it low and slow and over a long period of time to turn that collagen into gelatin, which gives a food like ribs an amazing fall off the bone, very tender taste to it. Time for the final results. So, can a cookbook teach soul food? Yeah, honestly, more than I expected, actually. The collard greens were mint, the cheese grits were solid, and the ribs had amazing flavor. They needed to be cooked a little bit lower and slower. So, using our official conversion chart, this cookbook gets a final score of 7.8 out of 10, putting it in the decent tier, which is significantly better than most cookbooks I have reviewed this far. And honestly, for a cookbook trying to teach one of the most personal cuisines in the world to get a decent tier, this is actually a really good score. Like, it's straight up impressive, actually. You can't just teach a personal cuisine like this, because this cookbook, it can give you the recipes, it can get you close to what soul food is, and this one does. It gets your foot in the door, but it does not replace generations of knowledge. And honestly, as a starting point, this does a pretty damn good job. Just cook your ribs lower and slower.